According to surveillance footage, suspects entered the store and attempted to intimidate staff in what appeared to be an effort to carry out a theft. The on-duty security guard quickly identified the threat and responded. The intervention disrupted the attempt, and the suspects fled the scene before obtaining any property. A widely shared video has renewed attention to the importance of situational awareness, particularly for individuals walking alone. Safety experts note that staying alert to one's surroundings can help people recognize potential threats early, whether they involve being followed, approached aggressively, or targeted for theft. Identifying unusual behavior and responding quickly may reduce the risk of harm. Officials emphasize practical safety measures, such as moving toward well-lit or populated areas, entering a nearby business, or contacting someone for assistance when feeling unsafe. Two young men, aged 18 and 19, were detained Thursday morning after allegedly attempting to steal a chain from an elderly man in Santos, authorities said. The incident occurred on Avenida Doutor Epitácio Pessoa, as the victim was leaving a bakery. According to reports, the suspects approached the man while riding bicycles and attempted to take the chain. During the incident, one of the suspects was restrained by bystanders until officers from the Municipal Civil Guard, alerted by the city's Operational Control Center, arrived at the scene. Police in Prague reported that a robbery occurred several days ago at a gas station on Shvelova Street in the Prague 10 district. According to authorities, a 33-year-old suspect threatened a female clerk with what was described as an insulin injection pen and demanded cash and cigarettes. When the employee refused, the suspect allegedly continued to intimidate her and attempted to move behind the counter to access money. At the time, a customer was refueling at the station. After noticing the situation, he remained in his vehicle briefly to assess what was happening. Police said the customer intervened after seeing the clerk physically threatened. He entered the store, struggled with the suspect, and forced him toward the entrance. Officers arrived shortly afterward and arrested the suspect at the scene. The case is being investigated as a robbery offense, which carries a potential sentence of up to 10 years in prison under Czech law. The suspect remains in custody. Police in Afyonkarahisar have arrested suspects linked to a robbery at a local snack bar, authorities confirmed. Officers launched an immediate investigation after receiving reports of the incident. Surveillance footage was reviewed and investigative leads were pursued to identify those responsible. The suspects were subsequently located and taken into custody. Legal proceedings have been initiated and the investigation remains ongoing. Police said patrols and enforcement efforts will continue to ensure public safety and prevent similar crimes. A powerful explosion shattered the early hours in Manaus after two brothers allegedly used explosives to break into a lottery store in a daring robbery. Police identified the suspects as Miguel and Josine Cruz, who are accused of detonating an explosive device to breach the premises before stealing approximately 4,600 Brazilian reais. Authorities said the suspects were tracked down and surrounded in the Santa Etelvina neighborhood following a coordinated operation. Both were taken into custody without further incident. Investigators confirmed that surveillance footage captured the entire attack, including the moment the explosion tore through the storefront. Police added that the suspects admitted the stolen money had already been spent by the time they were located. The investigation remains ongoing as authorities examine whether the pair may be linked to other similar incidents. With the assistance of surveillance cameras from the Municipal Operations Center, COM, officers from the Urban Guard identified and arrested a suspect who had broken into primary school number 13 during the early morning hours. Authorities said the individual was detected through the city's monitoring system while inside the school premises. Officers responded promptly, located the suspect, and detained him at the scene. The driver was slowly pulling his SUV into position outside his home when one motorbike suddenly swept in, cutting off the space around him. In an instant, one of the riders raised a gun and aimed directly at the driver's window. What was meant to be a routine arrival turned into a dangerous standoff. Without hesitation, the driver shifted into reverse and escaped safely. A theft suspect was arrested shortly after allegedly stealing merchandise from a retail store, authorities said. According to store officials, the individual entered the business, removed a security sticker from an item, concealed it, and left without paying. The incident was captured on surveillance video. Police officers located and detained the suspect minutes later and returned him to the store in handcuffs. A robbery attempt at a retail store ended abruptly after the owner defended himself against an armed suspect. According to reports, the suspect entered the store pretending to be a customer before suddenly threatening the owner and demanding money. The situation escalated within seconds. The store owner responded by grabbing a baseball bat and confronting the suspect. A suspected street attack was stopped after police officers arrived at the scene within moments of the confrontation. According to reports, a young woman was walking alone on a dimly lit street when a man exited a parked vehicle and approached her. The situation escalated quickly as the suspect allegedly attempted to overpower her. Before the attack could continue, a patrol unit arrived in the area. Officers intervened immediately, restraining the suspect and placing him in handcuffs. The woman was not physically injured, but was visibly shaken by the incident. Police ensured her safety while taking the suspect into custody. Authorities have launched an investigation into the case. 2 robbery suspects were arrested by city police in Heredia after being caught in the act during an armed robbery. The incident occurred on Wednesday evening in San Antonio de Belén. According to store surveillance footage, the suspects entered a convenience store and threatened those inside with a handgun. However, the robbery attempt quickly collapsed when a police patrol vehicle arrived just seconds later. 2 officers immediately intervened and detained both suspects at the scene. An armed robbery was reported in the southern region of São Paulo, where a motorcyclist was ambushed by 4 suspects in broad daylight. Video footage shows the group surrounding the victim and assaulting him in an apparent attempt to steal his belongings. The attack unfolded in the middle of a public street. The incident was interrupted when a nearby resident discharged a firearm, prompting the suspects to flee the scene. The motorcyclist was able to escape without further harm. Authorities have not confirmed any arrests. Police are investigating the case and reviewing the footage as part of ongoing efforts to identify those involved. Officials also acknowledge concerns over reports of organized groups carrying out similar vehicle-related robberies in the area. A gold snatching at a jewelry store in Ho Chi Minh City was resolved within hours after police arrested the suspect later the same evening. The incident occurred on February 11th at KC2 Jewelry Shop in Heap Puoc Commune. Authorities said a man wearing a wide-brimmed hat and a face mask entered the store posing as a customer. After being shown a 24-karat gold ring weighing approximately 7.5 grams, he suddenly grabbed the item and fled. Local police coordinated with the Criminal Police Division and officers in Tay Ninh Province to launch an overnight search operation. Less than 6 hours after the theft, the suspect, identified as Nguyen Thanh Hung, born in 1990, was arrested while attempting to sell the stolen ring. Authorities confirmed the property was fully recovered and returned to the store. Police said the swift resolution reflects effective coordination between local and regional law enforcement agencies. An attempted robbery was captured on security footage Thursday morning, January 30th, in the Teresina Sul neighborhood of Teresina. According to reports, a red car pulled up near a group of women standing outside a residence. A man exited the vehicle and approached them in what authorities describe as an attempted robbery. The footage shows the women reacting immediately. Two ran inside the house while another fled on foot, preventing the suspect from carrying out the crime. Police are reviewing the images and investigating the incident. A woman has been detained after allegedly using a stun gun against a sales clerk during an attempted theft at a mobile phone store in Volgograd, authorities said. Surveillance footage shows the suspect examining a mobile phone before attempting to leave the store without paying. When confronted by the clerk, she reportedly produced a stun gun and discharged it at the employee in an effort to escape. The suspect was restrained at the scene and later taken into custody by police. A suspect was arrested after allegedly breaking into a motorcycle shop and attempting to steal a high-value bike, authorities said. Police reported that the individual entered the store and tried to start one of the motorcycles but was unsuccessful. While the attempt was in progress, a patrol unit in the area noticed suspicious activity and responded promptly. Officers intervened and apprehended the suspect at the scene without further incident. A robbery attempt at an off-license in Belfast has resulted in a 6-year prison sentence for the suspect, following incidents captured on CCTV. Eamon Brown, 29, was sentenced on Tuesday after attempting to rob the vineyard on Ormeau Road on 2 occasions within a 4-month period. Court proceedings described Brown as struggling with alcohol addiction. According to court records, Brown entered the store and asked for cigarettes while appearing to prepare payment. He then attempted to grab the packet from the counter, but the shop assistant blocked him. Brown subsequently tried to jump over the counter, but was pushed back by staff. The confrontation continued outside the premises, where he was restrained until police arrived. In addition to stealing a bottle of whiskey, Brown attempted to take cash and cigarettes during the incidents. Tony McGurran, owner of the vineyard, praised his staff for responding calmly and decisively under pressure. There has recently been an increase in dog and cat thefts at night, with criminals using increasingly bold and deceptive tactics. Thieves take advantage of late hours, quiet streets, and limited visibility to move quickly and strike before owners can react. In many cases, they operate in groups, use fast vehicles, and carefully observe neighborhoods in advance. Some incidents have raised concerns about the possible use of tools or substances to incapacitate animals, posing risks not only to pets, but also to residents who attempt to intervene. Authorities urge pet owners to remain alert and take precautions to protect their animals. A busy street. Cars passing, pedestrians moving. A young woman stands on the sidewalk, focused on her phone. Then, in a split second, everything changes. A motorbike races toward her. The rider stretches out his arm, aiming for a quick grab-and-go theft. It should have taken only a moment. But the plan unravels instantly. With sharp reflexes, the woman dodges the attempt and grabs hold of the rider, pulling him off balance. The motorbike topples, and the would-be thief crashes to the pavement. An attempted robbery at a rural gas station in the state of São Paulo ended with the arrest of 2 suspects. According to police, the 2 men allegedly stole cash from a convenience store located at the station and attempted to flee on a motorcycle. Their initial getaway was halted when the motorcycle fell into an oil change pit on the premises. After managing to free the vehicle, the suspects tried to escape again, but reportedly lost control and crashed into a roadside ditch. The incidents left the pair unable to continue their escape. Police officers arrived shortly afterward and arrested both suspects in the Itapetininga area without resistance. Authorities are searching for suspects involved in a pharmacy theft that resulted in the loss of approximately 5,000 hydrocodone pills. According to investigators, surveillance footage shows individuals entering the pharmacy and leaving with a large quantity of the prescription medication. The suspects fled before police arrived. Officials expressed concern over the potential public health risks associated with the illegal distribution of hydrocodone, a powerful opioid used for pain management. Police are asking anyone with information about the incident to contact local authorities. The investigation remains ongoing as officers work to identify the suspects and recover the stolen drugs. An attempted robbery at a store in Brazil was disrupted after an undercover police officer intervened, authorities said. According to reports, a suspect entered the store, displayed a firearm, and threatened employees while demanding cash. The situation appeared under control from the suspect's perspective. However, investigators confirmed that an undercover officer was present inside the store at the time. The officer quickly assessed the threat and intervened, catching the suspect off guard. The suspect was taken into custody without further incident. No injuries were reported. A tense confrontation captured on video in the United Kingdom has drawn attention for its firm response to suspected bicycle theft. In the footage, a man confronts individuals believed to be attempting to steal a bicycle, addressing them directly and issuing a verbal warning. He uses a countdown while demanding they leave, maintaining a stern and controlled tone throughout the exchange.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to get your lousy, lying, low-down, four-flushing carcass out my door. 1, 2... 3. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
An attempted robbery was cut short after police intervened during the incident and arrested 2 of the suspects at the scene. According to reports, 2 individuals entered a store by riding a motorcycle directly inside before dismounting and displaying weapons in an apparent effort to intimidate those present. The situation escalated quickly, but officers arrived while the incident was still unfolding. Both suspects were subdued and taken into custody within moments. Authorities are investigating an unusual theft involving granite blocks, raising concerns among local residents. Surveillance footage shows a suspect removing heavy stone pieces from a property. The materials, which are bulky and difficult to transport, were taken despite their limited immediate resale value. Residents expressed surprise at the incident, noting that even construction materials appear to be increasingly targeted. A shoplifting attempt ended unsuccessfully after a suspect was injured while trying to flee through a store's emergency exit. According to video footage, the man entered the store and placed multiple items into a shopping basket. He then moved toward a fire exit door, apparently intending to force it open and leave without paying. However, the exit did not open as anticipated. During the attempt, the suspect fell and appeared to injure his leg, preventing him from continuing his escape. Residents of Imperatriz are expressing growing concern following a reported increase in motorcycle thefts across the city. According to local reports, incidents have become more frequent in neighborhoods farther from the city center, particularly during nighttime and early morning hours. Authorities say suspects have used a range of tactics, from direct intimidation outside victims' homes to sudden ambush-style thefts on public roads. Police have indicated that patrols are being adjusted in response to the trend, and investigations into recent cases are ongoing. Officials are urging motorcycle owners to take preventive measures and report suspicious activity promptly. Authorities in Vietnam are investigating a pre-dawn theft in which suspects used a truck to remove dozens of decorative flower pots from a residential area. According to reports, the group arrived before sunrise and quickly loaded the plants onto a large vehicle. The homeowner reportedly noticed the theft in progress and attempted to intervene, but the suspects left the scene with the stolen property. The case has been reported to local police, who are reviewing available evidence and working to identify the individuals involved. The investigation remains ongoing. A late-night burglary attempt took an unexpected turn when a suspect suddenly fled a residential property moments after breaking in. According to footage, the individual climbed over a fence and entered the home, apparently intending to steal valuables while the occupants were inside. Initially, the scene appeared calm. However, within moments, the suspect hurriedly exited the property in visible panic. His abrupt and disoriented retreat suggests something inside the home prompted him to abandon the attempt. Authorities have not confirmed whether the suspect was discovered, encountered a security measure, or reacted to another unforeseen circumstance. Surveillance footage released by the Miami-Dade Police Department shows an attempted armed robbery at a McDonald's restaurant in Florida, taking an unexpected turn when the suspect struggled to open the cash register. In the video, the suspect is seen leaning through the drive-through window, displaying a firearm and ordering employees to step away from the service area. Despite the threats, the individual appeared unable to quickly access the register, causing delays during the incident. At one point, the suspect inadvertently exposed part of his face while handling the weapon. Shortly afterward, a manager moved a staff member away from the counter to ensure safety. Police said the footage is part of an ongoing investigation. No injuries were reported. Authorities emphasized the importance of employee safety protocols when responding to violent crimes. A masked suspect entered a store and pointed a firearm at a sales clerk while demanding money, authorities said. According to investigators, the employee reacted quickly and managed to grab the weapon, leading to a brief struggle. The suspect was disarmed, and police later identified the suspect as 18-year-old Ryan J. Wages. He was arrested the following day and is now facing a charge of armed robbery. Delivery workers are being reminded to remain vigilant following an attempted theft targeting a beverage shipment. According to reports, a group of suspects approached during a delivery and attempted to steal beer while the driver was briefly distracted. The suspects moved quickly in what appeared to be an opportunistic attempt. A dramatic armed robbery unfolded at a recycling facility in Palhoza, where two suspects allegedly posed as customers before taking control of the premises and holding 7 people hostage. According to reports, the suspects kept the victims restrained for approximately 30 minutes while forcing them to carry out PIC's bank transfers and surrender cash and valuables. Authorities said the assailants also took personal savings belonging to a child present at the scene. Witness accounts describe moments of intense fear, with victims allegedly ordered to lie on the floor during the ordeal. After collecting money and jewelry, the suspects reportedly discarded the victims' mobile phones to hinder tracking efforts before fleeing. The incident has sparked renewed concern over organized criminal activity in the state of Santa Catarina. Police have launched an investigation to identify and locate those responsible. Residents are being advised to remain alert following reports of a suspicious individual going door to door requesting money, allegedly for bus fare. According to accounts, the individual initially appears polite but has raised concerns due to his behavior. In one recent incident, he reportedly entered a residence and nearly took a guest's mobile phone while the occupants were briefly distracted. The attempt was noticed in time, preventing any loss. Authorities encourage residents to avoid allowing unknown individuals into their homes and to report suspicious activity to local law enforcement. Community awareness remains key to preventing potential incidents. Authorities are warning of a coordinated theft method increasingly carried out in broad daylight by small groups operating in commercial areas. According to reports, suspects typically work in teams of 2 to 3 individuals, assigning specific roles before approaching a targeted shop. In some cases, one person forces entry and moves inside, while others remain positioned outside. Investigators say accomplices may stand close together near entrances, potentially obstructing the view from passing traffic or nearby surveillance cameras. Additional members may act as lookouts, blending into the surroundings by posing as pedestrians. Police note that the tactic appears designed for speed and coordination. Once inside, the suspect reportedly targets high-value items and exits quickly, minimizing the time available for detection. Officials warn that the approach relies on misdirection, using ordinary behavior to conceal criminal activity. A tense confrontation unfolded on the streets of London after residents intervened moments following an alleged phone snatching. Video circulating online shows a suspect being surrounded by members of the public shortly after attempting to steal a mobile phone. Witnesses said the individual tried to flee but was blocked and forced to the ground before police arrived. The incident has drawn attention amid ongoing concerns about phone theft in London, where suspects often target pedestrians in busy areas and escape within seconds. A man was arrested after allegedly attempting to steal a firearm inside the Central de Inquéritos building of the Tribunal de Justiça do Piauí in Picos, authorities said. The incident occurred Wednesday, while a military police officer was on duty. According to officials, the officer noticed suspicious activity through the building's internal surveillance system. Upon checking the guard quarters, the officer found the suspect already in possession of a firearm belonging to the officer on duty. The weapon had been stored inside the facility. The suspect was immediately detained at the scene. An armed robbery in the Perdizes district of São Paulo has renewed concerns about public safety following a violent confrontation in the area. According to reports, an off-duty police officer and his girlfriend were ambushed inside a parking garage by two armed suspects who attempted to steal the officer's motorcycle. During the encounter, one suspect reportedly pretended to surrender before opening fire, leading to a brief exchange of gunfire. The suspects fled the scene before officers arrived. Police secured the area to collect evidence and launched an investigation to identify and locate those involved. A resident of Seattle's Fremont neighborhood has installed surveillance cameras in his apartment building's parking area in an effort to deter vehicle break-ins and theft. According to the resident, the motion-activated cameras send alerts to his phone during overnight hours when he says most theft attempts occur. He has responded to alerts multiple times by going downstairs to confront suspected prowlers and document their activity. Some of the footage has been posted online. He acknowledged that on certain occasions he carried a baseball bat, and in some instances a firearm, while responding to alerts. He said that despite confronting several suspects, he has not physically harmed or shot anyone. Police continue to advise residents to report suspicious activity and avoid direct confrontation, emphasizing that personal safety should remain the top priority. An attempted robbery ended unsuccessfully after two suspects fled the scene and left behind stolen property during a struggle. According to reports, the suspects attempted a quick snatch-and-run theft. During their escape, a brief physical confrontation occurred with a store employee. Amid the chaos, the suspects dropped a high-end Nixon watch that had allegedly been taken during the incident. The item was recovered at the scene. Although the suspects managed to flee, authorities believe the recovered property may assist in the ongoing investigation. A 41-year-old man has been arrested following a theft and assault at a tobacco shop in Nagikaros, police said. According to authorities, the incident occurred early on January 31st. The suspect, who was reportedly known at the shop for previous minor thefts, was refused service by the clerk. Police said the man then walked to a refrigerator, took a soft drink, and attempted to leave without paying. When the clerk tried to stop him, he allegedly pushed her to the ground before fleeing toward the city center. Officers quickly launched an investigation, reviewing surveillance footage and gathering evidence. The suspect was arrested less than 3 hours later. He has been taken into custody, and a court has ordered his pretrial detention. A robbery at Cozy Corner restaurant in Santa Ana took an unexpected turn when the suspect was shot by an unidentified individual, authorities said. According to police, the suspect was inside the restaurant threatening employees and demanding money when multiple gunshots were fired from a vehicle stopped at the drive-thru window outside. Witnesses reported that the shots struck the suspect, The occupants of the vehicle fled the scene before officers arrived. Police later located the wounded suspect nearby and took him into custody. He was transported for medical treatment and remains under arrest. Authorities are investigating both the robbery and the shooting. No additional injuries were reported.